Number 4, flashcards. This goes way, 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 way back. I always tell my students stories about the evolution of flashcards. Back in the day, there were only white flashcards. And then there came the colored flashcards when I was in pharmacy school. And I thought this was one of the best inventions after sliced bread. So I told them by just creating a legend of the colors of this flashcards, it will help you remember this drug, especially during a test. It will flash in your head like the colors. So here's some examples that I tell them on how to do the flashcards. Of course, you can still use the flashcards that are white flashcards, the original flashcards, but it's easier to have them color-coded. Why? There's a study that 80% of people all over the world are visuals. They have to see to believe. And I'm a living example of colored flashcards flashing in my head during a test. So here's some of the legends that I created on flashcards. So if it's an antibiotic, I'll use white flashcards. Okay. Why? Because white blood cells rise when you have infection. Okay, so I'll put all my antibiotics in a white flashcard. And then next, drugs for the heart. There's no red flashcards, but there's a neon pink or bright pink. So I'll use all of the neon pinks for my cardiovascular drugs or drugs for the heart. Okay, and then when it's other anti-infectives like antiviral, I think of pus. So I'll put all my antivirals or other anti-infectives other than antibiotics in bright green or bright yellow flashcards. Okay, neon green, neon yellow flashcards, because I picture pus. So those are just some of the examples of color coding or legend in my head. And what does this do? So during a test, if I'm faced with a question or a multiple choice question, just like in the PTCE, it'll flash in my head that the answer is pink. And what do I know as pink? This must be a drug that affects the cardiovascular system or that is for the heart. Because the pink flashcard flashes in my head, not necessarily the drug itself, but that helps you make an educated guess.